Hey, welcome back. She is still Ash Ortega.
And she is still Michelle Santo.
And you are still listening to The Spookiness of It All. Spooky, spooky. Guys, we are back. We took a few days off for Christmas. We didn't work on the pod at all. So we luckily had all our research and stuff to keep us busy when we weren't busy doing all of the Christmas things. Ash, how was your Christmas?
It was good. I think I got the flu for Christmas, which is fantastic.
The
or
gift
COVID.
that
I'm
keeps
not even
on giving.
Yeah, true story. Like, Christmas was great. I enjoyed my Christmas. My husband, of course, made everything amazing, and it was just me, him, and the little. And it was nice and personal. But I work retail, and had a lady that was about to lose her husband, and she was already sick, and she was crying and looking for an outfit for him to wear. And she just kind of melted down in the store, and I felt so bad, and being the compassionate, empathetic human that I am, I hugged her. And 3 days later, I had a fever. And we didn't do like big major stuff because I was too busy dying.
That's what you can sing to her. You give me fever.
Yeah. Like, would I do it again? Would I hug her again? Yes, sick and all, because she needed a hug. But damn, what a whopper of an illness. No wonder she was crying so much in the store, because I feel like crap.
Oh my goodness, that's fun. The gift that keeps on giving. I love it when you get sick for Christmas. I went fishing one time. I didn't catch anything but a damn cold. It happens.
I felt that.
It happened. And I love to go fishing. I do. But I never catch anything worth any substance. But that's beside the point. We're not going to talk about fishing today. I didn't have the greatest Christmas. Like, I got great gifts. But Christmas itself, it was just kind of like, it was crappy. You know the reasons behind it. I don't feel like we need to go into it and bring people down. Just know that it's all good. It's all, what does they say? It's all good in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is it.
So we're going to work through it. I did get some really cool presents, though. Like, I've been waiting. My husband bought me a ring light for my tickerty-tockerty, so I'm pretty excited about that. And they change colors, but I haven't noticed that changing the colors on the lights makes a difference at all in how I look. We may play with that. I may play with the buttons while we're on here, and you can say, "Ooh, girl, no," or "Ooh, girl, that looks good," or what, or you may not even notice. But
I do like it. It does put a nice, good glow on you. I do like it.
He got me some, and y'all don't judge this man, because I literally asked for it. I got everything on my wish list except the halogen lamp that I wanted for, like, beside my bed, because I'm blind AF, and if I want to color or read or something like that, I need to be able to see. But I didn't get that. But you know what? I think this ring light might very well be a good substitute.
You just bend it over. Like, oh, look, I can see. Yes.
But I tell you, I got some goop for my face.
I love face goop.
Oh, face! You're putting goop on your face right now, and it's so sexy.
Thank you.
But I got some, and I asked for it because I'm getting older and my skin just isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Like, what are you doing, bags? Unpack yourself. This is ridiculous. So I asked for and received some Olay face goop. I've only used it 3 times, and I feel like you can definitely see a difference just for using it 3 times.
You totally can.
Okay. And I got my favorite perfume, which, you know, a lot of people say, oh, white diamonds, it's old lady perfume. But what people don't understand is it's all in your body chemistry. Like, for me, white diamonds, I put it on, and yeah, when you first spray it or whatever, it smells like old lady perfume. But there's something about white diamonds in my body chemistry that when I wear it, people literally will come up and stick their nose on me and be like, oh my God, you smell so good.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a little bit different than, you know, when I'm with the horses and then people come up and they're like, oh my God, what does that smell? And I think it's hilarious because horses have a very particular and unique smell. When you sniff a horse, you know you're sniffing a horse. And that's actually, that's actually one of my favorite smells in the whole world. And if they made a horse smelling candle, I'd buy it. And so that kind of segues into, I wanted to tell you, because it kind of segues into, I had a dream last night, and my mom came and visited me in my dream. For y'all that don't know, my mom's been gone almost a year. January 1st will be a year. And, you know, I had a particularly rough time, and Mom came to me in my dream. And it's funny because, you know, one of the last things that she said to me, well, I'll tell you why in a second, but I have had 3 surgeries in the last year. They all were horse related. And I had several accidents last year that were horse related. And one of the last things Mom said to me before she passed away, and I'm sorry, we just threw that no F-bomb rule right out the window, didn't we?
Yeah, it's okay.
The last thing, the last thing my mom said to me was, I love you, boo. But one of the last things my mom said to me was, you need to leave them fucking horses alone. And I was just like, but I love them, you know. So it's kind of funny. Like, Mom came to me in my dream because I was having a rough day and stuff like that. And like on Christmas night, so of course, you know, I'm thinking like now I'm in Charles Dickens land and it goes to Christmas past, present, future, about to ring my doorbell, you know. And it was kind of neat. It was kind of funny. Like, I don't know why Mom came to me last night. Maybe it wasn't Mom. Maybe it was just a dream of Mom. I don't know. Like, I know my granddad used to come visit me when I was having a rough time. Maybe I just needed to see my mama. But that kind of, it kind of brings me to, Mom was so upset with me messing with the horses because of all the accidents. Like, I just had rotator cuff surgery to repair my rotator cuff, and I had my bicep muscle was completely torn away, as you well know. Yeah. I had surgery initially a year ago in May, last month. So it's almost been 2 years. Initially, a horse stepped on my toe. One of my big horses I'd been working with. He's 16 and a half hands, pushing out about 1,500 pounds. And he stepped on my toe, broke it. I'm diabetic, have neuropathy, had no idea the toe was broke. So I wound up with a broken toe that wound up being sepsis. I literally wound up losing the toe. A year later, lost the rest of the toes. So I'm a foot and a half. That's really what I should go by. And I think I've probably mentioned that before. But the reason I say all this is to say, because it kind of rolls into what I'm going to talk about. Did I step on somebody's grave? Like all the bad luck I've had today, or not today, but you know, in the last couple years. And I don't have to go into it all. Ash knows it all.
Oh yeah,
bestie. But all of the things that have happened to me in the last few years. Like, did I step on somebody's grave? Did I piss somebody off? And that kind of brings me to my subject today. I'm so excited. I have been hopping up and down, like, all day Christmas Day, all day Christmas Eve. And you can ask Ash, she will tell you, I have been chomping at the bit to record this episode.
It's true. It is true.
So excited. Guys, today I'm going to talk about Robert the Doll. And the reason that this rolls into Robert the Doll is because supposedly, if you disrespect this fool, he's going to fuck you up. Facts.
Now, do they say if you disrespect him from afar, or do you have to disrespect him to his face?
You know, I think because, and I'll get into it in a second, but I think it's pretty much to his face. I think you pretty much
just in case, at the end of the episode, we need to apologize to Robert the Doll. And just be like, sorry, Robert the Doll, we didn't mean it. We were just saying, I'm so sorry, just in case. Right. Because I'm afraid of that little guy.
Right, exactly. So, Robert the Doll, I absolutely love this subject so much. My husband's name is also Robert, which I know you guys know because I've mentioned him several times on the pod already. But anytime he hears me reference Robert the doll, I hear from afar, "I'm not a doll!" Facts, Robert is not a doll. But the real Robert the doll is reported to be haunted. And he was, he is. That's what everybody says. He was originally owned by Robert Eugene Otto from Key West, Florida. By the way, this guy went by Gene, so as not to confuse Robert the doll with Robert the dude. He was gifted, he being Robert the doll, was gifted to Otto from his uncle, who purchased Robert from the Steiff company in Germany. I hope I'm saying that right, Stieff, Steiff. And that happened in 1904. That's a long damn time ago for y'all keeping score. So, hey, that rhyme, 1904, keeping score. Anyway, Gene Otto was later described in life as an eccentric painter and writer. And he actually kept Robert the doll his entire life, only leaving him behind at the family home, which, by the way, was located at 534 Eaton Street in Key West. When he went off to college, he went off to New York City to study painting and poetry and things like that, and then he hopped the pond and wound up studying in Paris. He wound up meeting his wife there, Annette Parker. Funny story, I know a lady named Annette Parker. She's a good friend of mine, but she's not, you know, this dude's wife. This nice lady actually has already passed away. But anyway, they wound up getting married May 30th of 1930. Robert was with Otto until his death in 1974, the year I was born, June 24th to be exact. And then Annette followed her husband in death 5 years later, like I said, January 9th of 79. So anyway, just a little background there on the folks that owned Robert. Robert has been featured. Oh wait, I think I skipped a hot minute. I want to talk about the what happened to Robert. So after, I want to talk about what happened. Sorry, I lost my whole train of thought. That booger fell off the track. Let me pick him back up. We're going to talk about what happened to Robert after Gene Otto passed away. So he remained in the Eaton Street home even after Gene Otto's death, even after it was sold to a lady named Myrtle Reuter. And that happened in 1974, obviously, because that's when Gene Otto died. And she kept it for 20 years, the house. In 94, when she sold the property, Robert was donated to the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, where he became a popular attraction very quickly. He was very popular very quick. He's the cutest little thing. Like, I love to look at Robert the doll. He's very cute.
I do like his facial structure. I do think he's pretty adorable.
Oh, I'm just like, I can just eat him up. He's so cute. So, but Michelle, you're telling me all the history and the background, but let's get to the spooky stuff. After all, your podcast is the spookiness of it all. What's going on with this damn doll, right? So, here's the thing. According to legend, Robert's haunted. His haunting allows him to giggle and move and make different faces. There's a lot of rumors regarding Robert. Some say he was gifted from a young girl who gave him as a gift for retaliation of wrongdoing. That scares the hell out of my cows, Ash. Retaliation of wrongdoing. Some say, I'm sorry, I get tickled. Some say that he has awareness of what's going on around him, like he can see everybody moving around and walking around and talking around. Right. There are theories that say that he disappeared actually after Gene Otto's death, and and whenever the house changed hands several times. And some even claim that Otto is to blame for Robert being spooky because he blamed all of his bad behavior as a child on the doll. Locals to Key West claim that if you don't show Robert respect, it can cause all kinds of mayhem in your life after your visit. So that's when I say you have to kind of be disrespectful to his face, because it can cause mayhem after your visit. So And I'm not like, it could be anything from a paper cut on, but really what happens is big stuff. You might crash your car, your house might burn down, you might break your bones, you could freaking die. So y'all, don't step on Robert the Doll's toes because he can kill you. I had somebody compare this to Chucky. And I was like, yeah, but not really. Like, oh, first of all, Chucky ugly.
And Robert's cute.
Robert is the cutest thing. And Chucky just looks like Ronald McDonald went on a binger with Raggedy Ann, and this was what happened.
Well, and the thing about Chucky is, it's a superimposed soul into a lifeless doll. The theory with Robert the doll is the doll just has a soul of its own.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to talk about what I think here in a second. I'm going to go on and finish. I'm going to tell y'all a few things about pop culture with Robert, because he's been featured on TV shows, including Haunted Museums, hosted by Zach Baggins. That was back in October of 15. He was also featured heavily in season 2 of Ozzie and Jack's World Detour, which I'm going to come back around and talk about in a second. He's also been featured in Ghost Adventures, Artifacts, and Deadly Possessions. I've not seen either of those, but I did watch the Haunted Museums with Zach Baggins, and that was pretty interesting. Robert does do tours, by the way. They will take him on tour and take him to different places. Robert even has a few movies based on him. It's a whole thing. The original movie based on Robert was released in 2015, and it's literally just simply called Robert. The sequels are The Curse of Robert the Doll, which was released in 16, The Toy Maker, which was released in 17, Revenge of Robert the Doll, released in 18, and Robert Reborn, released in, you guessed it, 2019. Like, I did not watch these movies in research for this article, okay? Number one, they're just movies based on him, but number two, that's 5 movies in 10 hours of my life, and how could they be if they released 5 movies in 5 years?
Felt that.
I mean, let's take some time. Let's do some production work, guys. Oh, but anyway, let's get back to my favorite pop culture reference about Robert. Ozzie and Jack's World Detour. Y'all, I love anything Ozzy Osbourne. I love the Osbournes. I love Jack. I love Kelly. I love Sharon. I am obsessed with Ozzy and his family. And Ash, I know that you really like Ozzy and them too. Like, we've talked about it.
Oh yeah.
The Prince of Darkness. He's a prince. I love him. But so Ozzy and Jack visit Robert the Doll Museum, which we said was the East Martello Museum. It's in Key West, and they do this on the first episode of season 2. It's titled Like Father, Like Son, S-U-N and not S-O-N. If you wanted to go look up the episode, you can actually watch. I believe I watched it on Pluto for research for this episode. And Pluto's free. I don't get I don't get anything for plugging Pluto. I'm just telling you where I went to watch this stuff for free. This episode appeared first on air November 8th of 2017, if that helps you hunt it down. Robert plays a prominent guest role throughout this whole, what do you call that? I got series up here, but I know that series ain't the word I'm looking for. Season. He shows up in every like almost every show. It shows him riding in the RV with them and all this other stuff. He showed up in many episodes from that season. My favorite episode from the season, though, is episode 9, which is called Blizzard of Oz. Aired January 3rd of 18 if you want to go hunt it down. And again, I found it on Pluto for free to watch. The reason I love this episode so much is that throughout the season, Jack tormented his dad with the haunted replica of Robert, and Ozzy hates this doll. So on this episode, they take a charter boat out overnight to go do some crab fishing and see some whales in Alaska. And since the trip is going to be overnight, Ozzy tells Jack, leave that damn doll at the hotel. And Jack's like, okay, Dad. But actually, because he loves to fuck with Ozzy, he hides Robert in his backpack and sneaks him onto the boat. So after they do the crab fishing, and I think they'd already looked at some whales, I'm not sure, but Ozzy's up on the top deck with the captain and all that stuff. Jack sneaks down into Ozzy's cabin and puts Robert smack dab in the middle of Ozzy's bed. And like I say, I rewatched this episode for the research, and it is absolutely hysterical to see Ozzy lose his shit over Robert the doll being in his bed. Who put this fucking thing here, you know? And Jack comes in, and of course he's all, I don't know, I left him at the hotel, or he doesn't like to be alone, and this, that, and the other. And then after Ozzy went to sleep, Jack snuck back in and put Robert on his bedside table, and it is hysterical. Hysterical.
Yeah. I have to see that episode. I have to. I love me some Oz, man.
Oh, he's the best. I just love Ozzy. But so I wanted to tell you all about that because it's one of my favorites, and it ties in a couple of my favorite things, Robert the Doll and anything Osborne. But let's hop back to Robert himself and put Jack and Ozzy to the side. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Is Robert really haunted? Or is it just that bad shit happened to people? And so oh my God, I went to see Robert the doll at the museum, and now this has happened to me. It's all Robert's fault.
See, with that though, okay, so two things. I feel like the more power people give something, especially when it comes to lore,
yeah,
the more powerful that object is. I do believe that faith is a precarious thing, and speaking things out into existence.
Mm-hmm, absolutely,
that's a thing. And there's several religious groups in the like Buddhists and stuff like that. There's certain I think it's Buddhism. I could be wrong. There's another one in that same region. It may not be Buddhism, but it's in that same region where they talk about speaking things into existence. And I feel like if you talk about it enough, yeah, you could potentially bring something like that to life.
Well, sure,
B,
absolutely.
The one lady that had purchased home, she had purchased home. She was a temporary owner before it was sold. They did an interview with her on the same episode because I was doing research on what I was going to talk about today. And Robert the Doll was on the same thing, which I thought was really funny. It was like the gods have spoken. We had to talk about these two things.
Together, exactly.
But William Shatner had interviewed, I said it, William Shatner. The Shatner had interviewed
I love Shatty Daddy.
Oh, I do too. Oh, I love me some Shatty Daddy. But yeah. He interviewed her, and she said, I had the doll in my possession, and, within, a few hours, everything went downhill. She lost her house caught on fire. She had somebody steal money from her. Then she thought things were going to start looking up within a few days. And it was just like one thing after another. And then she had a blind date, and the blind date didn't show up, and she thought she got stood up. Turns out blind date was in a fatal car accident.
Holy crap.
And so she was like, I had to get rid of the doll because it was going to kill me.
Oh my God, so, that's crazy.
Like, you have to, I mean,
yeah,
I would say he's haunted. I mean, I would say he's probably a haunted ass doll. I would.
For sure. I absolutely believe that. I'm going to get back to that, but I had no idea you were going to bring up Shatner, and it actually ties in with my tie-in from talking about dreaming about mom and her telling me about horses. Complete side note, has nothing to do with spooky, has nothing to do with anything other than it's Shatty Daddy. Did you know? Daddy. Yeah, they used to say that on Stars on Mars. They called him Shatty Daddy, and I thought it was cool, so I stole it. Anyway, Did you know, and he still does this, and this man is like 74, 75 years old. He has championships. He has, and does training. He is very, very prominent in the horse reining arena, where they, where they like run the horses and they slide them to a stop.
Yeah.
That's called the reining event. He is, and still does this, up in his 70s and, heavy as a lead lump. And he's still doing reining horse events. And he is very prominent at it. Very, very good. And, I am mildly have a few toes with my horse experience, mildly have a few toes in the rodeo arena type, and I don't mean like the actual rodeo arena, but the arena of the sport of rodeo. I'm mildly into that, just because I do so much with horses. But that was a fascinating thing for me to find out that I had no idea. So kind of funny you mentioned him. Kind of ties in to everything I was talking about earlier. But getting back to Robert, the thing about it, here's the thing. People who don't understand how all of this works get confused. But so Otto owned Robert the doll for the entirety of his life, and I failed to write it down. I know I saw it yesterday, but I failed to write down when Otto was born. But Gene Otto owned Robert the doll for his entire life. They bought Robert the doll and gave it to him in 1904. He died. Gene Otto died in 1974. That's 70 years. That's a long, long time to own an object. And when you own an object, and I don't know how much he maybe picked him up or played with him or had him close or whatever, but people don't understand that objects can absolutely absorb your energy.
Oh, yeah.
Objects can absolutely absorb your energy. And so I think some of the haunting is he absorbed over 7 decades the energy of Eugene Otto. And I think some of that is Eugene Otto. That's my take.
Think, like, children are open. Mm-hmm. Children, they're halfway in between both realms. I've always believed that, especially small children. They can put that energy out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's just what do they call it? A haunting happens repetitiously. A residual haunting. Yeah. So, devil's advocate, what if Robert the doll is just a residual haunting of Otto, or a childhood Otto?
Yeah, that's exactly where that's kind of where I was going with that. Like, he used to blame Robert for all of his shenanigans. When he would get into shenanigans, he would blame it. He would tell his parents, "Oh, Robert the doll did it." So of course it's gonna absorb that and be a little naughty fucker. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. So that's kind of my take. That's kind of what I feel. I really feel like maybe there was some haunting because kids do stand in especially small children. Like we talked about it on our first episode, how I got pulled through a wall. I was a little bitty. I was tiny. So kids do stand in 2 worlds at one time, or 1 foot in each world, whatever you want to call it. But I absolutely think that maybe something that was attached to Eugene Otto when he was very, very little, attached to Robert the doll. And then I think a lot of that was absorption over 7 decades of owning one particular item.
I believe it.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thought press. Again, guys, we do not edit because we don't know how. So you get all the crap. Right.
Hey, we just barely learned how to do an intro today.
Man, I know. I'm so excited about our intro. So that's kind of about Robert the doll and about the spookiness of Robert the doll. And Yeah, it is kind of funny that your topic today, also the research you were doing, kind of dipped your toes into Robert's waters. So why don't you kind of tell us, Ash, what you got going on today?
Okay, so I'm going to move you off my screen for a second so I can pull my notes up.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, okay, and I was really stoked. I'm going to go there. I was really, really stoked about this. It's the crying boy, the cursed painting, okay?
I'm glad I didn't call it out. I almost called it out a couple of times in my TikTok announcements just because I wanted to call it the Blue Boy, but then I was like, I can't remember what the hell that painting is called, and I don't want to call it the wrong thing. So I'm just like, it's a spooky haunted painting with a kid in it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's a really, it scared the crap out of me up until last night, and then now I'm on the fence, and we're going to talk the devil's advocate of that because, yeah, y'all will see. But, okay, so the crying boy, it is a printed painting, mass-produced. The original painter was Giovanni Bragolin, and it was produced, or he was actively producing. Oh my gosh, my notes fell off. No editing. He was actively producing from 1911 to 1981. This picture sold for that many years as well.
Oh wow!
So, it's been a whole minute. Now here's where it gets crazy. This was all across the pond. You know, we're in the States. This is all the British territory here, BBC territory,
Cool.
BBC television, not the other BBC. You guys get your minds out the gutter.
Like
but yeah, nasties.
Always.
But
you know my address
British
is in the gutter.
The British tabloid, The Sun, which is known for, it's basically the Inquirer. Okay,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, the
BBC
British
version
Inquirer.
of the Inquirer.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very smutty. But they did interview a firefighter that in the 80s
Ooh,
that said
I
that
like
there were
firefighters.
so many fires that every single one of these fires that he had been to, the only thing that would survive the blaze were these paintings of this creepy little boy crying. And of course they took it and ran with it. So they started asking.
You know
a
he
bunch
was
of people.
crying? You know why he was crying? He was crying because shit kept burning down around him. That's why his ass was crying.
Well, they genuinely, I couldn't find anything in my research of why or what possessed him to paint a picture of a crying child. But this dude had also painted some pretty bizarre, sad shit throughout his career. But I would say that this one just seemed to have taken off. And people all over, Britain, in Europe in general, would take this one specific picture and put it in their dining room, which is not something I would want to look at while I'm eating. Like, I'm sorry, a crying child is not something that I'm just like, oh, let's have some steak. But
Well, he's crying because you didn't offer him any steak.
well, it's just poor little boy. If you Google the painting, the crying child, it's really just a depressing picture.
Yeah, I Googled it. I was like, eh.
There were thousands of people after this article that had come forward and said, my house burned down. This painting did not, it survived. This painting survived. And there was so many people that the Sun decided to make an event of it. And they did an old school book burning, but with paintings. And they took the paintings, rounded them up. They're like, hey, we're going to get rid of these fire demons for you.
Come on down.
Yeah, and they did, and they televised it. Like, it was a whole thing. They televised that thing, and they set everything on fire. And it's stayed in the urban legend territory for the better part of 30 years.
Ooh, I like urban legends.
And I found some more modern research. And somebody, which is honestly some shit I would have done if I had the materials and access. Okay. The scientists acquired 2 of the paintings, and Shaddy Daddy was involved. True story. It was his show that promoted this and helped with this. And for decades, they thought it was the varnish. Naysayers that say the painting was not cursed, it's just, it just happenstance. It's the varnish that would that kept the painting safe. That's not what it was either.
See, that just kind of, to me, that seems like a little bit backwards, because to me, like, any varnish I've ever seen, it has been flammable AF.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. And if it
flammable,
like, and I've seen shit burn
flammable. That word is flammable.
Yeah, I feel like a painting would be the first thing to go, which I think is why people were so shocked that it was the only thing left for so many fires.
Yeah.
But what I will say, and this guy, he threw my ass for a loop, because he did a controlled environment, set a room on fire with it in there. And he goes, it's not the varnish, guys. It's the type of material they use to hang the painting in the back of the painting. And this is what bummed me out, because I'm thinking spooky, and I was hoping for spook. But he did the controlled test, and I watched it for myself. The string, because he had the original painting, the string gives way with the heat of the flames that are licking up the wall. It falls down to the floor face down, because that's physics. Boom, boom. Falls down from the wall,
because
hits the ground.
Physics, yo.
Physics, yo. And it lands face down. The fire, rises, heat rises. So the picture is ultimately safe because of its stupid hanger. The hanger catches fire, it drops, it goes face down, the coolest part of the fire, because fire climbs up. And the dude did it not once but twice. One before the show that wasn't filmed, and one after that was filmed, and both yielded the same results. And so now a lot of people are split on it. Is the painting cursed, or did it survive from sheer dumb luck? And that's kind of where we're at. Personally, I thought it was cursed because there had been thousands of fires related to the paintings.
Right.
But after seeing the painting burning fest that they had, and how everything went up so well,
whoosh.
Yeah, because the varnish.
Somebody get the hot dog. Somebody get the marshmallows.
So I was a little put off last night because it was crunch time. I had already done all this research to find out that, okay, maybe Shaddy Daddy and his crew solved the mystery of the cursed child painting, the crying boy. It's really up to the true believers. Like, are we believing that this is still a haunted painting? Personally, I don't believe it's haunted now, which really sucks, because if you would have asked me 48 hours ago, I'd be like, oh, it's so spooky haunted. I want a copy from my house. YOLO. But now I'm like, okay, I saw the footage. And so I'm on the fence. Or, is it just dumb luck that it landed the way it did twice in a row? I don't know. I'm on the fence. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I did Google it. It is creepy as shit. I mean, the picture's just creepy as shit.
It's ugly, right? It scares me.
For sure, it's ugly. Like, I'm with you. I definitely wouldn't be wanting it hanging in my dining room while I'm trying to eat. Like, no.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Take your ass and go somewhere else. Go hang in the basement, dude. Like, we ain't got a basement. I don't care. Go play in traffic. Chase bumpers.
Well, that's the thing, is like, these Brits, no offense to Brits, but guys, what are y'all thinking? Like, that is not home decor. Like, that's depression.
Listen, we're Texans. We're a different breed, honey. We think it's fine to put cow print on the wall. We think it's fine to have horns hanging. Like, Texans are a different breed when it comes to home decor. So you can't really, you can't really jump on the Brits.
I guess, but I'm not looking at crying babies trying to eat dinner.
You know what? I'm going to tell you for sure, though, I definitely would not even hang that in my barn for my sorriest nag to look at.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't understand, and it was mass produced and printed.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing I'm on the fence about. Like, if it was one painting that had just changed hands a bunch of times and fires had happened and it survived. First of all, why come every house that buys this damn painting's catching on fire? But The other thing is, I got so lost with why are these houses? Oh, mass produced, like. So okay, go with me since we're in the British deal, right? Go with me on this. They're Horcruxes.
Shut the fuck up.
So somebody has yeeted their soul into enough pieces to mass produce this and haunt all of these paintings, or it's just a fluke.
I think it is. It cannot be a Horcrux. It cannot be a Horcrux. Avada Kedavra. I don't know. I don't know. I was so stoked about it, and then I read that and I saw the footage, and I'm like,
but
well, damn it.
You know what, though? That's the cool thing about this podcast. We're not always going to find that everything that we talk about is spooky. It's just not going to happen. Like, our personal experiences, things, the shit that you and I have been through, the shit that Lena's been through. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, I tried to call her Lisa. Her name is Lena. I have talked to her. I have even invited her to be on this pod. She's real shy. She don't like the sound of her own voice. So I don't know if she's going to come or not.
Why she sounds so pretty.
I loves her. But
I love her.
All the things, we're not always going to come up with, yeah, that's for sure haunted, or that's for sure not haunted. That's the beauty of this podcast, in my opinion, because it's just us postulating about what might or might not be. I'm going to go and research something for you. I'm going to give you all the facts, and I'm going to tell you what I think, but it's up to you ultimately as the listener. I called them viewers last episode. It's literally up to you as the listener to decide what you think and what you believe. I personally, either because it was mass produced, either they're all Horcruxes or it's a fluke. That's my thought process on it, and I'm sorry.
That's where it threw me off, because they're like, oh, the varnish. They ain't gonna varnish a mass produced.
Listen, varnish is flammable. Whoosh. Put a match to it. See what happens. I grew up with a granddaddy that built things from hand. Varnish, flammable, whoosh. It ain't the varnish keeping this crap from going up in flames.
Yeah, like literally, like read some of these articles from the Sun, and they're a little hard to come by now.
Oh yeah.
But they're like, oh yeah, it's probably the varnish. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, the fuck it isn't. like last time I checked, there's a flammable warning sticker on that thing.
Whoosh.
Like, no, I don't. That seems whooshable.
Yes, that's the word of the day, whoosh. I feel like that's the thing, and I feel like that's what ultimately what we want is for you guys to listen to the facts that we find, do your own research if you feel like you need to, and come to your own conclusion. Definitely email us about it. Tell us what you think. It is TheSpookinessofitAll at gmail.com. You can always catch Ash on TikTok at Chainsaw Dolly. You can always catch me on TikTok at Michelle with 2 L's Santo, and that's Szanto. The reason I tell you guys that is because we are funny as hell on TikTok. Sometimes we're not as funny here. I try because, that's my shtick. But we're here. And we want to do this stuff because it fascinates us. We've had our own personal experiences over decades. I'm about to be 5 decades in. Ash is about to be 4 decades in a few years. So all together, that's 90 years of experience of having stuff happen. So we just like to kind of investigate and see what happens, what we think is actually going on out there. Like, I hate to be that cheesy ass, but I'm going to say, the truth is out there.
Hey, it is, man.
But it is.
Fox Mulder.
Hell
I'm sorry.
No, I knew we were going to turn the corner. But yeah, that's just like next week. Or next episode. I don't know if we're going to record again this week. I hope to, but I haven't even begun to wade into my research yet for my next topic. Next episode, I'm covering, and again, it's a Texas thing, and we're not always going to talk about Texas, even though we are Texans, but next week I'm going to wade in and I'm going to get y'all filled in on the Marfa lights. That's Marfa. I say that because I say all the time on TikTok, calm down, Martha, it's okay. But I'm not saying Martha, I'm saying Marfa with an F. It's a town, it's a place in Texas. It's down south. And I'm going to cover the Marfa lights because they have a phenomenon nobody can explain where these lights just pop up for no reason and nobody knows why. So that's what I'm going to cover. I don't know if Ash has thought about what she might cover on the next episode. Any ideas?
I don't know. I was thinking, I don't know why I'm talking like that. Well, I say
because you were just in London, dear, covering the sun.
We're doing the Horcruxes. I was thinking about doing haunted cemeteries.
Heck yeah!
Either haunted cemeteries, or because there's so much more footage, I feel like the viewers can go see listeners can go see for themselves. You know what? I've decided. Haunted Gettysburg.
Oh, I just got chills.
That's better than a cemetery, right?
I got chills.
Yeah, I got the chills. It's a pain in my chest.
I got all the chills. Oh, I'm verklempt.
You're fucking dumb.
Did you just call me dumb? I'm so sad.
I didn't mean it in a bad way.
I know.
It's like when I tell people they're stupid, but I'm like, oh, not UP, like you're stupid,
right?
Not stupid. Like there's a difference.
True story. I have a friend. I have a friend. I used to play music with him all the time. I'm not going to call out his real name, but true story, we literally called him stupid and he answered to it. STOOPID. Hey, stupid. Yeah, huh? What? And seriously, because this man would do some of the dumbest shit, and like then he didn't understand why he like hello, and I can't tell you how many times he would be married to the same girl, like 3 or 4 times, married to the same girl, marry, divorce, and I'm like, exes are exes for a reason.
What is that phrase I say? I say it often. Do you like slamming your dick in the door? Do you want to do it again?
Oh, I thought you were going to go with the other one. I'm going to tell you, I speak Ash very well. And I'm going to tell you this is an Ashism, and then I'm going to tell you what it really means. Okay, so here's the Ashism. I'll support you no matter what you do. Which means, in real human, you're about to do something real damn stupid, but I'll be here to pick up the pieces, sis. It's okay.
That is exactly it. Like if I'm like, listen, you gonna do what you gonna do, and I'm gonna support you in whatever you do. But it's like I will though. I am gonna go and take a golf club to this beehive because I just want to. It's a life goal. I'm like, okay, you know what, Michelle, I support you in smacking the shit out this beehive. I love you. I'm here. I'm gonna go get some peroxide and some Benadryl, and I'm gonna be waiting.
In the bee suit, 50 yards over there, halfway down the football field.
I've got EpiPens.
I've got EpiPens. I made up a song today that reminds me, like, I'm super hyper today, y'all. I'm super up, and it's because I'm on my 4th cup of coffee. I'm on my 4th cup of Java. I don't know. It's just, I had to get up and do something like I'm not going to go into it, but the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day was real bad for me. And I got up this morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to say it. Whenever we first started this podcast, we talked about what we were going to do and what we weren't going to do. We were like, yeah, we're not going to drop F-bombs. But, that flew out the window. So I'm just going to tell you, I woke up this morning and I was like, fuck a bunch of bullshit. We doing this today. We putting on our armor. We going to be a warrior and fuck you in the ass if you don't like it.
Yes. Swear in the asshole. Well, it only took us 2 episodes to just throw the whole, we're not gonna cuss and
I
that.
don't think it took that. I think we were halfway through the first episode when the first F-bomb. Yes, because my brother I told about the story about the hand, and I looked at my brother and I was like, what the fuck is that? And he said, I don't fucking know, but I'm not going back in there.
But that's the thing is, like, organically, look at Linda.
Mira,
we could be politically correct, but would that really be us? Because,
no.
Are we gonna be us, or are we gonna be fake for radio? Like, let's just be us. And, like, if people don't like two foul-mouthed bitches talking about spooky shit, then
maybe that's what we should have named the pod, two foul-mouthed bitches talking about spooky shit.
Yeah, like, literally, that should be our bio. Like, just two foul-mouthed bitches. Like,
did you hear what I said, though? Like, when I was in college, my friend Trish, and she's like, she's half and half. She used to tell me, Mira, escuchen. So if I ever say that to you, I'm like, look, listen, this is what I got to say.
You know, the thing is, like, they say that people that cuss more have higher intelligence. And, like, listen, I have been a cursing little bugger since I was kid. I mean, literally, like, one of the first things I remember getting in trouble for in elementary school was saying fuck. And that was like 35 years ago. So I feel like at this point it
takes 21 days to break a habit. It takes 21 days to break a habit. Do you want to know something funny?
I can't go 21 days without cussing.
You would go faster 21 days without smoking a cigarette than you would 21 days without dropping the F-bomb.
You bet your sweet ass, because I'd be dropping that F-bomb because of the smoking. Like,
you know what's funny? Like, and it's funny, I started this episode talking about my mom because she came to see me last night, and she's just like, look, whatever, you get back to doing what you do, but leave the goddamn fucking horses alone, you know? And, but we started this episode. I'm going to tell you another thing about my mom, except I literally just forgot what I was going to say.
Nice.
I love it. Welcome
to live feed.
Welcome to life with people who are old AF and forget why did I walk in this room?
That ain't no fucking joke. I did that twice yesterday. I'm like, what the hell am I cooking? Oh yeah. Oh shit, there's stuff in the oven.
Oh my god. I literally was going to tell you something funny about my mom. And what were we talking about? F-bomb. It is, I was 18 years old before I ever heard my mom say the F-bomb. And then after that, that's all this bitch said. Fuck this, fuck that, fuck. And I'm like, but you have to understand, this is the same woman. Like, y'all, I can make fun of her because I love her, but she gone. So what's she gonna do? Come back and haunt me? Okay, yes. Hi, what's up, Mom? My mom was legit nuts. Like, and I said that for years, and the doctors and the nurses and everybody at the facility, at the nursing home where she was like, oh, because you talked to her and she sounded like she was in her right mind. But this is straight facts. My mother legitimately thought she was engaged to Trace Adkins.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's because she had vascular dementia. It was vascular dementia that was making her nuttier than a fruitcake. And I was vindicated because about 3 or 4 months before she passed, I found out that she had that diagnosis, and I was like, yes, I'm not crazy. Mom's the one that's crazy.
That's so fucked up.
But yeah, so there's that. We pretty much are almost finished. Ash, it is time for the pick of the week, and sister girl, it is your turn. So what product or thing that you're into, you going to tell us about this week or this episode?
So I am going to go with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I use it religiously. I have a bit of vitiligo, and I have some dark spots. Like, I'm mixed, like brown and white.
So
and
what you're saying is your brown wash is coming off?
Yeah, well, like, I was just like, if I go in the sun, especially, it gets worse. But like my cheeks, I have like these very dark spots, and as I get older, the worse it gets. And like my poor husband, a couple of years ago, he was like, "Baby, you got dirt on your face. Like, I just wanted to let you know." And I was like, "Yeah, fucker, that's my face." And
well, I'm sorry, Gary glows in the dark.
Oh yeah, no, he pasty white, and he looked so devastated because he realized the oopsie that he had committed, and I felt bad because he felt bad. Like, he just looked like a deer in the headlights. Like, oh, I just fucked up, which is great. I got a pack of cigarettes and a Big Red about it, after it. But it's like, no, I just look like that, and I wanted to do something about it, and I went to Ulta because they had just given me a ridiculously high card limit. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go, and I'm not going to be fugly anymore. And I went in there, and the lady introduced me to Double Wear. There's nothing about you fugly.
Just so you know, I was talking about you last night to my daughter, and so, of course, I creeped on your Facebook, swiped some pictures, and sent it to her. And my daughter's like, oh, hubba hubba, because she likes boys and girls. But she's like, oh, hubba hubba. I was like, well, okay, but Aww. She's married, and she's a little bit old for you, but I'm just saying that... It is what it is. I just want to let you know that I don't give a crap what you think. Sister, you are beautiful.
Well, I don't feel pretty until I got this shit on. I'm telling you, like, it covers so much. Like, when I wear it, and I do wear the foundation and the powder, it is expensive. It is about $50 a bottle. And it is about $50 for the compact. But when you came to Planet that shit, and you put it on your freaking vitiligo, I will tell you that you will feel like a teenager again. And I do. And 90% of the time, people don't realize that I do have such discoloration on my face. So
it's pretty awesome.
For me, Estee Lauder Double Wear, they're amazing. I love the product. It doesn't have like a makeup stink, and it makes me feel good. So I will recommend that.
You said makeup stink.
It doesn't, like the makeup stink. Like,
I love the way makeup smells.
Like old lady.
I love the way makeup smells. And it's really funny because I go through phases. Like, I go through phases where, oh my God, I have to put on makeup every single day. And I go through phases where I'm like, meh, I can give a crap. I'm in that I could give a crap. I started into the give a crap less when I started working with horses because facts, a horse will lick your makeup off your face because they think it's tasty.
Nice.
Facts. My hair is falling out and I have worn wigs. I shaved my head down and wore wigs. I quit doing that crap because horses think it's funny to snatch your hair off your head. I literally had one of my favorite horses, Paycheck. He literally, remember that really nice, she was cute, the wig you gave me with the little bangs? Yeah. Girl, he snatched her off my head and shook her around like a rag doll. Because he was having a good time.
Shaking wig syndrome.
Shaking wig syndrome. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. But yeah, Paycheck had a good time, and she didn't die, so that was all that mattered. A little bit of straight ironing, a little bit of combing her back down. It was fun. It was fun. But that's how we do. Well, guys, that's going to do it for our episode today. Thanks again for listening. We love you guys so, so much. Never be afraid to jump in the conversation. You can always email us at TheSpookinessofitAll@gmail.com. And you can always catch us on TikTok. I'm at Michelle Santo, MichellesZanto. And she is
at Chainsaw Dolly on TikTok. It's just how it sounds.
So... just so that you're aware, you can always reach us that way as well. With all of that being said, we hope that you guys stay spooky, and we love you so much. Keep listening, keep spreading the word, and just remember, she is still Ash Ortega.
And she is still Michelle Santo.
And you are still listening to The Spookiness
of It All.